just going back into how it's structured and then what you can do in each level. Okay, so in the account level you can have your unique email address, your password, and your billing information. So you can only set that from an account level. From a campaign level, you can set the budget, the language and location targeting, the distribution preference, and the start and end dates. Okay, and then in ad group level, you can set the keywords and ads. Okay, so it just shows you what you can do at each different level. So it's getting a little technical now, but it's just a breakdown of where you can access this information. Cool? Okay, so this is going back to how many campaigns and just limits, like you were saying. So per campaign you can have 25. Per account you can have 25 campaigns. Per campaign you can have 100 ad groups. Per ad group you can have 2,000 keywords. And then there's no limit per text ad per ad group. Images per account is 50, and the over account keyword limit is 50,000. There's a lot of keywords. Now the fun time. Oh, yeah. So you have image ads. You can't upload more than 50. This actually has been changed. I'm not sure the correct metric or not.
The dimensions and this.
Yeah, there are many different dimensions. You can actually check them all out in the Google Help Center. I don't know them off the top of my head. I have a very bad memory when it comes to these things.
They are all different dimensions.
Yeah, they're all different. It's like 275 by 160. There are 8. There we go. Do you know them all?
Yeah.
Go for it.
468 by 60.
Okay.
728 by 90. Either board.
Okay.
I have 120 by 600 skyscraper. Extended skyscraper 160 by 600. Then we have the box 100 by 100.
Okay.
300 by 50.
Okay.
326 by 50.
Round of applause. And I would say you deserve a mug for that. Here we go. Nice. Well done. Alright, so if you have questions about dimensions, he's your guy. Okay, so maybe he's going to win another mug in the quiz. Yeah. Alright, so what order is an AdWords account structured? Who wants to take a shot? You're already winning too many mugs, man. Okay, let's have one of the ladies go. Go ahead.
The campaign and then the
Take a step back. What are we talking about?
account. The
Yes,
account
very good.
and then the campaign.
Cool.
And then the ad group.
Okay.
And then the text.
Yes?
The
And? Last one.
Keywords.
Oh, you got some help there.
yeah.
Go ahead. Campaign level. Who agrees, who disagrees? Oh, you're cheating.
No.
Yeah, it's a campaign level. So, actually, I'm going to. Yeah. Where did Petty handle? Okay, and final question. Thanks, Tom. Okay, and final, true or false? Structuring your campaign is not relevant for good results.
That's true.
I heard false. False. From the gentleman, yes, that is the correct answer. Congratulations. Here you go. Best cup of coffee ever had. Okay, so keyword match types. So this is actually a very, very important part of the presentation as well. So you have different match types for your keywords, okay? We're going to go through them one by one. So the first one is a broad match type, okay? Second one is phrase. And the third one is exact, okay? So what is the difference between each one? So you can see broad match, the first one in yellow. You can see formal shoes, okay? There's nothing around the keyword, it's just formal shoes. The second one has formal shoes within quotation marks. So we know that is the phrase match. And the final one has them within brackets. Okay, so how does this work? So broad match, let's say that we're looking at tennis shoes, as you can see from up there. Which ads will get triggered or which keywords will get triggered if that search query is inputted, okay? So let's say I have keywords, tennis shoes, buy tennis shoe photos, running shoes, or tennis sneakers. And I have them all in broad match. This will trigger my ad if tennis shoes is searched. Why? Because in broad match, we look at synonyms, we look at if the word is plural or not, and we don't really look at the sort of order of the keywords. So tennis shoes, which if you have tennis, it will trigger it because tennis is there. Shoes as well. Buy tennis shoes, tennis shoe, okay, which is singular. So tennis shoe photos, running shoes, and tennis sneakers. Even if I put shoes tennis or shoes for tennis, it will still trigger the ad. So it's very broad and it allows your ad to get triggered if you want, like, want it to be really visible. Okay? So very little is not triggered. Yes, go ahead.
I have a question regarding the keyword.
Yeah.
If the keyword has suffix like ing, ed, does that discount under the broad?
No, it still shows. It won't affect the ad and triggering in any way.
So if I wrote buying instead of buy,
Yeah, it's fine.
it's fine.
In broad match, it's fine. Good question. Okay, now this is where you see a slight difference in phrase match. Okay, so here we put quotation marks around tennis shoes. Okay, so this means that the only way this will be triggered if it's in the exact order. Okay, so what will trigger it? Red tennis shoes. So we have tennis shoes, and we just put red before it, it works. Or buy. Or put photos or photo after tennis shoes. Okay, so that works. Alright, what won't work is shoes for tennis because we took them out of order. Okay, or tennis shoe because it's plural. Our keyword is tennis shoes. Okay, or tennis sneakers. Even though sneakers is a synonym, it won't show. Is that clear?
But singular and plural show.
No, it will not show. Okay, so it has to be the exact order. Okay, if you put something before or after, it won't matter. Okay? Finally, exact match. Who can guess this one? Put brackets. Yep. Perfect. So this is the only one it will show. Okay, you can see tennis shoes. Only tennis shoes will show. Nothing else will show. Okay, so you might ask, what is the relevancy of this? Who knows? Okay.
Especially I'm using this for the name of my product.
Okay, that's very good.
So it will definitely show when something like I.
Very good.
So this is if I maybe want to give a higher bid for my exact name.
As well. Very good. So it also helps, like if words have two meanings, people are searching for stuff with two meanings, it helps. And also if you want to get rid of, for example, cheap tennis shoes. I don't want my ad to show for cheap tennis shoes if I sell luxurious tennis shoes. But this applies especially for watches. If I'm, let's say, Rolex, and I have watch as a keyword, okay, so and I put it as exact, I don't want cheap watch to appear, okay, or watches that are cheap. Yes?
I don't get the difference between this one and the previous one.
Okay, so we'll go through it again. So this one, make sure that tennis shoes stays in that order. Okay, so it's not only triggering tennis shoes, it's triggering buy tennis shoes, red tennis shoes for sale. So tennis shoes, the phrase does not move. It stays exactly the same throughout all these examples where the ad will show. Okay, however, if you take them out of order or make sure that you change the tense, it will not show. Is that clear? You sure? Go ahead.
I have a question. Wouldn't narrowing the search will make it less possible for the ad to appear?
Yes, but this again goes back to what you want, right? So if you want the ad to appear really to everyone, then you put it in broad. But if you don't want it to appear to everyone, you want a special niche market, you would sort of continuously trim it down to the exact keyword. Cool. Okay? Yes. Favorite time. Okay, what are different keyword match types? I want to hear from the ladies with that. There's some ladies that. Okay, there we go.
Broad.
Yep.
Phrase.
Yep.
Exact.
Perfect. Excellent. Alright, true or false? Buy new shoes will trigger the ad that has the keyword new shoes. Who says true? Who says false?
True.
Okay, who said true? Ooh. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something that's very googly, as we say. I have a lot of ones here. Okay, so the answer is true. Okay, finally, true or false. Broad match is the default setting for keywords. In the back.
False.
False.
True.
You answered already. True. True. Sorry. Okay. So. Yeah, very good. I'll get to that. Where do you see that? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. And who answered? There. Yes. Awesome. Okay, so negative match is when you put. Oh, he did. Okay. No, I'm gonna give you guys one. Okay, so negative. Good question. Negative match is when you put a negative sign before the keyword, so it also makes sure that it doesn't show. Okay, this applies for as well as luxurious brands. So if you put negative, cheap, as a keyword, it makes sure that anything with cheap doesn't appear. Okay, so another example that's really good is, for example, people that sell protein for bodybuilding. Okay, a lot of people sort of associate bodybuilding with steroids, right? So you can put steroids as a negative keyword, that if someone searches for steroids, your ad doesn't appear, because that'll be really bad for your protein shake. Cool. Okay, so we're going to create AdWords accounts now. So I'm just going to go through this very quickly. Some of you may be familiar with this already because you've created your AdWords accounts. For those of you that aren't, I'm going to skim through this because I just want you to get an understanding of it, and then we're actually going to do it, okay? So you go to google.com/AdWords, you create an account. Step one, it's very important here for you to choose the country, the correct country zone, because that way when you do something called ad scheduling, which sort of indicates when your ads will be shown, the correct time zone is applied. Okay? And it's also very important to choose the correct currency, because once that is chosen, it can never be changed. It's set in stone. Okay? So you create that, and then that's it. You verify your account, an email sent to your email address, and then you just start advertising. Any questions?
There are no.
Yeah.
There are no setup fees. It's just per click. That's it.
There are no?
Setup fees per account.
There used to be a setup fee of $5. $5. We got rid of that. So there are no setup fees. It's free to create an account, but you have to pay to advertise. So you can't create it to sort of discover what's out there. What you can do is create a website that leads that has a form or a survey, and then advertise people to fill out the survey. But you can't really do that. It's not the purpose of AdWords. For that, I can show you some other cool free tools that Google has, where you can find out some cool insights. Okay? No more questions? Yes. Okay. So can we do something? Can you just put your hand up if you have a laptop? Okay. Okay. So let's split up into groups of 4. It would be preferable if you can group with someone that has a laptop, so we can get in touch with each other, meet different people. Yeah, it's difficult to create a campaign and stuff. It's very clever. So can we start moving on? Is that cool? And we can use my laptop as well. I'll be projecting this on screen. Yeah, oh great, excellent point. So the internet password is, are you ready? So I think it's Google 123 KSA for the mobile. Yes. If you have one, it's fine. We can go through the structure and so on.
The password right on this?
Yeah, Google 123 KSA.
Google 123 KSA.
Let me know when you guys are connected. Yeah, that's the way you might find asking. So we got a really good question here. The question was, you can set geographical locations to your campaigns, and does it matter if someone searches on google.com.sa or let's say google.ae or any other domain? So the last part of the website is called the domain name. So google.com.sa is specifically for Saudi Arabia, right? So the way it works is when you target through your campaigns a certain country, several factors are taken into place. First of all, it's the domain name. So where that user goes in and accesses Google is they will get ads specifically for that country. I'll show you an example now. Okay? And then your IP address. So if you have an IP address in Saudi Arabia, you'll most likely go to google.com.sa. And that's how we target geographies. Is that clear? You're switching your language settings, but it's still the same domain. Okay, so I'll have a look at it. So I think you go, yes, it will change the address. Yeah. Cool, so YouTube is actually going to be launched very soon. We already have a domain name for YouTube, but we're expecting that hopefully in April you can start advertising on YouTube, which is awesome news for companies because Saudi Arabia has the highest number of YouTube views on mobile and the second highest on desktop in the whole world. And you have 90 million views on YouTube per day in Saudi Arabia. No, it never worked in Saudi Arabia. You see ads that is different. It's not something that companies can pay for in the country. It's going to be launched soon. You're laughing. Yeah, sure. Exactly, good question. So we don't usually do demographic targeting because our engineers are still working on making it really, really efficient because we don't gather data without the user's consent, right? So we don't have their actual gender, but we have algorithms that can predict based on the websites they visit the gender and age.
You have a percentage about how active?
I don't have it off the top of my head now, but if you just do it, it's fairly accurate. I wouldn't.
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
I can see from the little, but I just wonder how.
You want like metrics? Yeah, I don't have any metrics for that. Cool. So I just wanted to show you guys a quick example. So google.com.sa. You see it's automatically here in Arabic. And if I search for, let's say, hotels and hotels, you can get ads that are specifically for this part of the world. You can see that there are agencies here like hotels.com and Agoda that are targeting Saudi Arabia. So I go to www.google.com.
Because hotels.com is the second sponsored link, let's say, but it's also the first organic link.
Yeah, so this is
That
where's Tony? No, it doesn't. So what hotels here is doing is ensuring that they appear on the ads and they appear on organic, right? Because it helps their visibility. Okay? When people click more on organic, we make it more relevant. And Tony, who is here, is a specialist in organic searches. And there's also a lot of technical things that go on behind the scenes to ensure that these ads are proper organic searches. And it's something you can influence.
No, what I'm saying is if I'm
Yes, but I mean, if you do that, you leave space for people that only look at ads, and then you just close the business. And you
Do
know,
you have any research on that?
yes,
Advocates for certain things.
I do. But I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'll send you an email with that information. Okay, so if you do the same thing on the
لا بس شو صار معك؟
this.
You should bring on some buttons.
Yeah. That is not one camera.
طيب ماشي ماشي
You can see the ads are different. Right, so buy Canon digital camera and buy Sony Nex. And then they're different. Sony Nex is advertising in both Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Let me just make it a little more clear.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. So this one here on the left is Saudi Arabia, and this one here is the Emirates, and you can see that they're different. See, this one's even tailored to Dubai. Is that clear? Okay.
Frequency remote is organically higher than the UAE sound.
Where is PC World? Yeah, because it's different per domain, right? So it depends on certain different factors per domain on the relevance of the ad, both in on paid search results and organic.
You would say that it's as relevant to UAE's sound.
No, because search behavior is different from country to country. Yeah.
Is the domain .sa widely used here in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, so it's the first thing you go to because it detects your IP address. If you go to google.com, it will transfer you to .sa. It'll ask you if you'd like a different language, and it'll ask you if you'd like to go back to google.com. Okay, so let's get into the accounts. The fun part. Okay, so these are accounts that I created myself. I don't use any of them. They're all just examples. So does everyone have their accounts open?
Yes.
Okay. So let's create an account together. What would you like to advertise for? What's that?
Part-time jobs.
Blogs.
Part-time jobs.
Part-time jobs. Okay. Online lecture. Wow. Okay, so let's go with part-time jobs. So you're basically a company that can offer jobs.
Links companies to applicants who want to work.
Okay, very cool. So the first thing we do is create a new campaign. Boom. Excuse me? You? I'm sorry. iPad 3. Ah, that's a good one. Okay. So let's have a vote. How about that? Yes? Who wants to go for online lectures? 2 people. Okay. Who wants to go for online jobs? 4 people. 5. Okay. And Apple iPad 3. Boom. Sorry guys. Nice. Okay. Are you trying to sell the Apple iPad 3? Nice. Okay. The new iPad, yeah. And a better screen. I don't know what. Okay. So what shall we call the campaign? The new iPad. Okay, so it's this is a best practice. It's quite important for you to always make sure that you name everything correctly. So when you have a lot of campaigns, like we talked about earlier, it's easier for you to go back and find the relevant ones. If you name them campaign 1, campaign 2, campaign 3, over time you're just going to get confused with which campaign should I use. Okay, so we have the new iPad. Okay, what location would we like to target or even exclude? So very good. So usually over here you see it says Ireland because my settings are in Ireland. Okay, but actually I can choose different settings. So I can say let me choose. I can choose all the countries in the world, which is silly because if I only sell it in Saudi Arabia, I don't want my ads to appear in Bangladesh, for example. Okay, So let me choose, and we can choose Saudi Arabia. You can see it pops up. And anywhere else? There it is. And you can see it shows you the reach as well. Okay, you can see reach here. It tells you how much you can possibly, how many people you can possibly reach. And let's say I want to exclude a country. Which country should we exclude? It does it based on search queries. It's everything within the system.
You want to exclude?
Yes.
Can you exclude regions or is it just
Countries, and in some countries, some areas you can exclude cities. So let's say Jeddah, I can exclude it. Okay, so
Let's exclude Israel.
let's do that. Okay. Exclude. So our ads will not show there. Okay? So then we can choose the languages, right? Automatically Google detects based on what countries we chose, which languages are relevant. So let's just, for the sake of the example, put Lebanon up here. And you can see like it's so targeted that it even takes you to Lebanon, Tennessee, Pennsylvania. These are all the small cities in the States. Okay, so we want Lebanon, the country. Okay? So automatically you can see it chooses Arabic and English, but because I know my market, I know that French is also spoken in Lebanon. Okay, so therefore I can go in and edit language settings here. Okay, I'm going to choose Arabic, English, and French. Okay, so over here I've set the countries I want to include and exclude, and the languages that I'd like to target. Are we all good for now?
What if your website is only one language?
Very good. So basically, this target doesn't target what language your website is in. It targets what people search for. So you still maybe want people to visit your website if it's only in Arabic. Someone might search for it in English and still want to read it. Yeah. Yes, you can do that in here, but this is for what you search. So the keywords are actually going to be in English and in Arabic because this is what you search for. Okay, so networks. Let me choose. So this is where I choose if I want to be on the display network or the search network or both. Okay, so for iPad, I guess we want to be on the search network. So let's exclude display network for now. Okay. So then devices, so it's also very targeted. You can choose if you want to appear on desktop, laptop, mobile, tablets, which have full operating browsers. What you can even do, if you go into advanced settings, you can go into operating systems. So this is interesting for the top level here. You can choose, they know from, I guess, something technical, yeah, they know the browser first of all, and they know from the device itself. Which is which? Okay. That's fine. You know everything that you do. No, it's completely safe. This is information that is easily accessed by anyone. It's not. Yeah. It tells you where you can. It's very powerful. Okay. So you can even choose which Wi-Fi traffic you want. Within Saudi Arabia, you can see Azure and Hawaii. Within the United Arab Emirates, you have dual facilities, so you can add them. Okay? So let's not go into advanced options for the time being, and we'll stick with all these. Okay, so this is where it comes down to money, which is what we're interested in as well. So basic options. I'll manually set my bids, okay? Or you can choose automatically for Google to set your bids. Automatic bidding is preferable for people that don't have an understanding of AdWords, don't have an understanding of their industry, their market, what they're advertising, and so on. You can see what Google suggests. It won't charge you more than you should pay, but then it will give you an understanding of how much the bid is, and then you can go in and manually do it. But for the sake of this example, let's say that I want to set my bids, and I'm not willing to pay more than $1. $1 per click is the most I'm willing to pay. And I have per day $10. Okay? If I'm only willing to spend $10 a day, I'll probably get, if a click costs $1, I'll probably get 10 clicks. But if a click costs 50 cents, I'll get 20, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
How do you do it? If you don't want to do it quickly.
That's CPM, and that's something that you do in the display network when you're advertising on websites.
So that's another story.
That's another story. I can show you later on. Is there a question here?
Yeah, so what does that mean? That means then people click like 10 times, you click 10 times?
Yes.
10 times?
A maximum of 10
So
times.
what if they click beyond that, then what happens?
Google pays you back. So we do something called over delivery, where your ads can show 20% more of the time, and those are for free. So once that happens, at the end of the month we'll say, okay guys, we took an extra $2 from you, it's back. It's all yours. Cool? Yeah.
I have a question regarding that. So I just want to understand. So if I have as a maximum budget per day $10.
Yes.
So if it exceeds, it won't
It will
appear?
never exceed. What do you mean?
If because you said that I pay $1 per click. So this means 10 clicks.
Yeah, it's a maximum of $1 per click.
Yeah,
you
but
may pay less.
Okay, but if I reach the $10,
Your ads will stop showing.
or my ad will stop showing.
They'll just stop. Okay. Excellent questions, guys. This is really good. Okay, so any more? Cool. Okay, ad extensions are complicated. Let's not save and continue. Oh, I have an error. What's my error? Does anyone see an error?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
in the budget and so on, we should have put
Okay, let's try.
Go back days, and then have to show that code.
Yeah, I canceled that now. Let's see.
Go back.
Cancel one out of
There's another one.
Oops, sorry, this one. Oh, thanks guys. Okay, save and continue. Yay! Okay, so now I've created my campaign. So now I want to start creating the ads. But first, let's create an ad group. So we're talking about iPad 3. So we can have different messages based on what we want. So we want, for example, buy iPad 3. Okay, we can have maybe one with information about the iPad 3. Okay, so let's start with buy iPad 3 because I guess that's what we're most interested in. Buy iPad or new iPad. Okay, so over here Google gives you the options of basically choosing what kind of ad format you want. You can go for image ads. Display Ad Builder is a tool that allows you to create your own image ad. It's really cool. And then for web mobile ads, which is relevant for countries like Saudi Arabia, where there is a high penetration of web mobile phones, but let's forget about that for now. So let's go for text ads because we're on the search network only. Okay? So, how many characters per headline?
25.
Awesome, great. Okay, so what should our headline be?
Get new version.
The new, look what happens. iPad has arrived. That's for the sake of the example. See, it won't let me type more than that. See? Okay. Okay. Visit our store today to buy your new iPad. Exclamation mark. Look what happens if I put more than one exclamation mark. Okay? Everything is fine here, but what will happen because of Google policies, the ad will get disapproved. So our systems will pick that up and will immediately not allow your ad to show. Okay, so we want to keep everything within. The display URL, as we mentioned earlier, is a URL that will appear with the ad. So you want it to be relevant also to what the user sees. Because if I have an ad for the new iPad, but my website is I don't know, www.oranges.com, the user is going to be like, oh, wait a second, this is not what I want to do. It's not relevant. So they won't click on it. So let's have it www.apple, for example.com/new iPad. Now you can't use this because this is not yours. If the system detects as well that this is a sort of infringement, it will block it as well. Unless you're Apple, you show some credentials and then you can advertise.
And although this is a display URL, but it will be verified that it exists.
The display URL will not be verified. The destination URL will be verified. So if you noticed, when I just clicked on the destination
You
URL,
can put any text into the display.
no, very good question. You can't put any text because I can be misleading and put the new iPad and then have oranges.com as the destination URL. The system will pick that up as well. So around 89% of the ads are picked up by the system and 11% are manually reviewed by our colleagues at Google. So we go through them as well. Any other questions? Okay, so that's our first ad created. Okay, we can save the ad or we can choose keywords. Okay, so let's think of some keywords. Very good. iPad 3, new iPads. Where can I get an iPad? Apple iPad. Very smart. Okay. Steve Jobs. Stuff. Come on, guys. If you want to buy an iPad from the internet, what do you search for? Buy an iPad. Apple Store. iTunes. Games online. Why? Why games online? If you want to buy an iPad, you search for games online. Okay. That can be a little bit misleading. Mom? Gifts for mom. This is going to be good for Mother's Day. Cheapest.
iPad.
Okay. Cheapest or cheap iPad, nice. Or affordable iPad. Okay, good. So here we had someone saying that in Arabic. But remember, we don't want to mix Arabic and English. Okay, so that will create some second. Yes.
Apple my wish list.
Apps for iPad. Tablet, yes. Finally, someone said it. Tablets. See, but notice here, because everything is in broad match, tablet and tablets will be shown. So let's say I put tablets like this. It will trigger buy tablets for sale. If I put it like this. Tablets, okay. Galaxy Tab, Samsung. Android. But Android is, okay, smart. So you're betting on your competitors' keywords here. It is allowed if you have authorization. Some keywords are automatically allowed, others have like the actual company said no one's allowed to use it without authorization. Those are usually the bigger companies. Everything's within the system. It's a very smart system. It picks it up by itself. Yes. Extremely intelligent engineers at Google. Any around? They're all outside. Yep.
If you have a word as a general or a broad, what's the point of having it in a phrase?
Very good. I just put it for the sake of example.
Mostly use the phrase in a sentence or two words.
Excellent point. Yeah, I just put it for the sake of example. So you usually just have one of them. Okay, are we satisfied with our keyword list? Okay, let's go sell some iPads. Okay, this, as you can see here, the default bid has been taken from our previous settings and it's already been implemented. So we click on Save Ad Group. No errors, please. What did I do? Okay, see? Excellent. This is what you guys were asking. Okay, so it picked up all these different phrases that aren't allowed to be advertised on Google AdWords. So let's get rid of them. So which one was it? iTunes, because no. Hold on. Let me try this again. Yeah, I just want to try something. Okay, so it's separated when you see. I don't know. I guess it's part of Galaxy Tab. Let's check it out. This is for the first one. Okay, you can request an exception. So I guess they're always updating new features on AdWords, and this is something new. Request an exception. Please delete the items. So let's just get rid of this. Okay, so now, once you create the ad, it takes you to basically the performance page of the keywords. So let's just go back here. We have our ad. Okay. It's eligible to run. Not yet, because it has to be reviewed. Right? So automatically ads are set up as not eligible to run because it has to be reviewed by the system. Sometimes it takes 2 minutes. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours if it has to be manually verified by our team. Okay, so we have our ad here, our keywords here. Okay, and then you can see a bunch of different status messages here. So this one says, rarely shown due to low quality score. So right now we don't have a quality score, but it's predicting that it will have a low quality score in the future. Okay, that's what it shows. Alright, so what we can do here actually is see all these different metrics. So the number of clicks we will get, the number of impressions, and then the CTR, etc., etc. And you can customize what you want shown here. And that's basically creating your ad. So it's best to have at least I would say 3 to 5 different ads per ad group. So let's create another one. Okay, so it gives you the one that's already been created, so we don't replicate it. But what else can we say now? It's always important to have a call to action in your ad. Okay, so because everyone's creating ads, you want something to be different. Good, but let's have something more sort of. Do you want the new iPads? If you're searching for it, then yes. Okay, so this already is like, oh, how do they know I already want? Okay, we have it. Visit our store. Or what is the get one now? Okay, and then we have the same thing, and we save it. Okay, that's a really good ad. If I saw that, I would click it. It's linked because it's within the same campaign, same ad group. It's automatically the same keyword. If you remember the hierarchy that we went through, this is where it applies. Okay, so a best practice would be to look at your ads. So these are the ads we created. We have the new iPads. Get one now, for example, visit our store today to buy your new iPad. So a best practice would be to link or create keywords that are existing already in your ad text. So you would probably want to say the new iPad, get the new iPad, buy iPad, buy your new iPad. What else can you say? If you create more ads, you can get more keywords and put them as keywords. So as you can see, I have keyword block. What am I going to do? I don't know what else to think of. We have a really cool tool called the keyword tool. Okay, yeah. So what happens here is it can help you, assist you in getting keywords that you can add to your ad group if it loads. Okay, so let's put in some phrases. New iPad, buy iPad. Let's put iPad 3 because it can be mistaken for that. Buy iPad online. Okay, so these are the ones I'm interested in. If I click on search, actually locations, let's change it. based on keywords that trigger that are similar to what we entered up here, okay, for Saudi Arabia, English and Arabic, desktop and laptops, we conducted a search and it gave me relevant keywords for Saudi Arabia based on what we entered. Okay, so you can see buy iPad online, okay, iPad 2, buy iPad 2 online, and so on and so forth. We got 478 new keywords from up here. Okay? Over here you can see the global monthly searches that you get. Okay, and here you have the local monthly searches. So this is relevant to us. So I know if I pick iPad 2 per month, there's going to be 60,500 searches for this. So it's very likely if I select that as a keyword, it will trigger my ad.
But then again, it depends on your bid. Depends on your bid.
Yeah, of course, it depends on the bid, but I mean, if you have it in there and you're bidding the right amount, it will show. Yeah, so this is even better for you. Competition is low, so that means you pay less. That was your question. So it's not like completely no competition, but like there is low competition. It's low.
But I don't understand how the competition low, but at the same time the number of searches is high.
Great question. So competition means how many other advertisers are using this keyword.
Yeah.
The searches indicates how many people are searching. So it doesn't mean that if someone's searching for it, there's an advertiser.
But if everyone copies and pastes every keyword that has a high number of searches.
Yep, you'll get, for example, here media. You can see that the competition is a bit higher, and then you have some that might say high.
Because it's iPad 2. Low.
Yeah, iPad 2 is low. If we put other keywords in here as an example, I'll show you later, it's going to be high. So that's what I would do is I would sort it by local monthly searches to understand how many people will be searching for this, and I get them from top to bottom. Look at this, where do you get iPad? Where is the iPad? I select them. Boom, boom, boom. No, I'm looking at this.
Another question.
Yeah.
Total number of searches, is this forever or is it for the past, let's say, 30
Month.
Month.
Okay?
Okay.
Local. Yeah. Okay, we can add them if we go. Add keywords. And then it lets me choose, because I have a lot of campaigns here. This is the one I want. And I want it in this ad group. Save and continue. Your updates have been saved. If I go back to the campaign, keywords, and they've all been added. You can see we have, oops, it's not all. This one. They've been added. And you can see it's below the first page bid, so it's telling you that you're bidding too low. You have to pay an estimate of $3.50 per click. Cool. Okay. Look at this here. The iPad 2, $3.50. Yeah, but that's the market price. Everybody see this? Okay. Let me show you another. Yeah.
I already choose iPad.
Mhm.
That's from
It won't. Yeah, it won't add it. It won't replicate it. Good question. Just keep in mind if your CPC bid is lower than what is provided, your ad won't appear, and therefore you won't have to pay for it until you increase your bid. Okay, I guess that's it. Is there anything else you guys would like me to cover? Okay, so that's all you have first. Okay. 600 keywords per campaign.
For one campaign.
That's a lot. What are you advertising for? What is that? Green tea. You sell green tea online. Oh, guarantee or green tea? Oh, green tea. Wow. Okay. So Perihan is also is more of a specialist in the account than I am. He's advertising for green tea, but he's chosen 600 keywords, and they're all very low in search volume.
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Some of the keywords are currently doing great, but my CTR is listed around half
0.5?
0.54 or something like that.
Yeah, so basically the keywords that you have, the ones that are doing well, this is what we spoke about in the beginning, they're separated, and the ones that are doing well go to the top, and the ones that do poorly go to the bottom. But pause them, don't ever delete anything from your account. Pause the keywords that aren't doing well, so that it stops consuming your budget in case they ever show. And more of the money can be allocated towards the ones that are performing well. Is your budget, how's your budget doing? How's your budget? Okay, that's good. And your quality scores?
I mean, when I'm using other keywords, the start affect my
No, if the keyword's poor, the keyword.
No, the keyword are rich, but it's in the, for example, some keywords about cooking. About picnics.
Yes.
Does your website have anything to do with cooking, or does it have that content?
Actually, no, nothing direct.
Okay,
So this is nice.
so you might not score very high on the score very high on the relevance, but if such keywords trigger your ad with high clicks, then you will score higher on the click-through rate, and it will make up for it. So it could be relevant. You might want to optimize your website and add some relevant content if you know that the person is looking for cooking recipes or would actually be interested in your product. You can see that specific match. Just like the printer and the ink. Whoever is searching for a printer would definitely be interested in ink. So if you're just an ink selling platform or website, you would bid on keywords like printer because you know that. But don't worry about the click-through rate. If it's lower, it's possibly because there's low search volume. And if you're just charged for clicks, then it's not a big deal. Just make sure that your keywords are highly relevant. Always ask the keywords that are not relevant. So if you're getting keywords that are not relevant and you're still being charged for them, pause them. And add the ones that add variations for the ones that are highly relevant and are getting you more clicks. So let's say, for example, if green tea is getting you conversions, then you would put planting green tea, buying green tea in Saudi Arabia, buying green tea in India. So expand it in all the different variations that can come in. And also use something really good. Have you ever used the search terms query? No? Search terms query. So if you go to the tab of keywords. Okay, so no, actually in AdWords, you go to the tab of keywords in your campaign. You go to keywords, and then you'll find a little button that says see search terms. So if you click on this, you can choose all, and it will tell you which search terms, so which search queries, what did people search for, triggered your ad. Because sometimes with your matching, so let's say for example, if I'm searching for, again, glasses, then if somebody's searching for spectacles, it's going to show. So if this specific search term is one getting you high clicks, then you would add this as a keyword, so you enrich your keyword library. Or if it's irrelevant and it's getting you wrong clicks, and you're paying for nothing, for something that's not relevant, then you add it as a negative keyword. So you avoid spending money on something that's not relevant. So search term query is really, really helpful. Keywords, see search terms, and then you see whatever queries are actually triggering the ads.
Guys.
No, it's actually in the system. So, because you have every right to see which queries triggered your ad.
Not this. I mean, I put some people not.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It only hurts your campaign performance if they're very not relevant. You know, some people even bid on like ad keywords in competition. You know, if you know if I'm Coca-Cola, I would bid on Pepsi. You know, because I know that people who are searching for Pepsi might be interested in Coca-Cola. So you have every right to bid on competition, as long as you don't use them in the ads, in the ad text. Because they're trademark, you're not the owner of the trademark.
Can I register this mark? How can I register?
Register as a trademark. So we don't own this. Like we don't have trademark registration, so it's basically legal, whatever legal.
How can I show you that it's registered?
Okay, so if it's a global, if you are the sole owner of a trademark, so whenever you're signing up for AdWords, then we have the legal documents that basically show that commercial registration, and you know, so we know that you are the rightful owner of this trademark. But the only case that we need extra documentation if you are, let's say, I don't know, online store sports equipment, and then you want to bid on, Speedo, you know, and we know that you're not the company that owns this trademark, so we'd ask you to basically provide us with that trademark information for our approval from the company.
Months? Okay guys, we have months left over. If you didn't get one already, you just come up to the front while the stocks last. You can get one. We're right over there.